As climate is changing and extreme weather events become more frequent and intense, it's essential to enhance the adaptive capacity of citizens to minimize the impacts. But sometimes the lack of climate information tailored to their needs may constrain this capacity. In this context, it's necessary to generate climate services adapted to the knowledge, experience, and needs of users and to the context in which decisions are made. To achieve a more effective, accessible, and suited services, one of the best tools are the co-production processes that integrate the best available scientific information with the local knowledge and customs of the final users. It's in this context that the I-CISK project is co-creating user-centered climate services to inform climate adaptation decisions in 7 different living labs. The one we are working on is in the living lab of Andalucía, Los Pedroches, in Spain. In this region, a great diversity of land uses coexist, from rain-fed agriculture, sierra olive groves, milk cattle, and the traditional Mediterranean dehesa, a silvopastoral system. Given the semi-arid climate and the near total absence of surface water, these sectors rely mainly on rainfall and groundwater, making them highly vulnerable to droughts. Since we are working within a co-production framework, we work together with the stakeholders on what information they needed, and out of that reflection exercise, we identified 5 climate services. The one we will be focusing it's the hydrology and hydrogeology. In this region, it is especially relevant how strongly groundwater availability is conditioned by geology. The area lies on mostly impermeable batholith bedrock. Due to their limited productivity and heterogeneity, these aquifers are understudied. However, they are essential sources of water supply for agricultural activities and dispersed rural populations. As drought is increasing in recurrence and intensity, and the region is facing a significant decrease in the available surface and groundwater resources, we wondered, is this reduction related to climate change, overexploitation, or both? Are we observing a change in the hydrological dynamics? With the general aim of supporting adaptation decision-making processes, we will integrate the dispersed hydrogeological information of the region, develop a regional-scale physical model of groundwater flow, and analyze environmental and anthropogenic stressors since 1990s. To achieve these objectives, keep in mind that we are working within the co-production framework, and that the development of this climate service is based on the needs and knowledge of the users. With this in mind, we began by making a bibliographic compilation of all available information and found out that the information was limited. The water level monitoring points were scarce in number and temporal length, and for an aquifer with this degree of heterogeneity, official information available regarding its hydrological characteristics was limited to develop a model. By this point, every piece of information was priceless. But we had no other bibliographic sources to consult. Still, we had one of the best repositories of field-specific data in the region: people. Here, the use of wells is traditional for water supply and livestock, and usually people are very well aware of the capacity and efficiency of their wells. This more qualitative information can be used to deduce very relevant characteristics in contrast to the technical literature. And so, ready for the field, we headed out with 2 goals in mind: setting up our measuring points to monitor the water level at different times of the hydrological year, and interviewing the local people about everything they knew about groundwater. The field work supported what was briefly mentioned in the literature. There is a connection between the delineated groundwater body and the slate lithology surrounding the bedrock batholith. This piezometric level measurement campaign validated what the 1990s campaign indicated. The lithology functions as a shallow, unconfined aquifer that flows from the southeast to the northwest. Also, the people we interviewed supported what the official control point suggested. Over the last decade, the water table has been declining steadily. We still have some way to go before we can unravel all the issues raised. To gather more quantitative data with which to validate the model, we will return to the field in the fall and spring. We will test the model fit and simulate monthly piezometric levels variation since 1990s. In addition, we need to estimate the water consumptions of the livestock sector and get the historical head of cattle data, and with that, we will be able to analyze the influence of the stressors in the hydrological system.